Okay, pretty easy tie into today's tiers, Mazz. What is the subject?
Best and worst Red Sox trades. Red Sox trades in tiers. And when I say best and worst, it's more than 2 tiers because I know how much that crawls up your backside. So here's what we did. I limited it to 20, okay? And I did 5 per tier, starting with the best, going down to the worst. And I gave titles to the 2 in between, which we'll get to when we get there.
You got it.
Okay, so tier 1.
Excellent.
Best trades in Red Sox history. I'll try to go quickly here. These are pretty obvious. Pedro Martinez for Pavano and Armas. Schilling for Fossum, Lyon, and a bunch of scrubs from the Arizona or to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let me just say that usually we say horses for ponies, like getting Schilling as a horse. Those are ponies. In the case of Schilling, they gave up puppies. Puppies for a horse.
I always thought that was a trade, but as much of a free agent pickup as anything. He was up for a contract, right?
Well, so he was in the final year, and then they tacked on 2. One of the great things about that deal, that contract, was that there was a clause in it that would increase the value $2 million per year if they won the World Series. And Schilling was willing to engage on that, and then they won it, and he got his extra money. So, but that trade was a steal. Getting Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek for Heathcliff Slocum, one of the great heists in Red Sox history. Chris Sale for Yoan Moncada and Michael Kopech. Good deal. I would say not quite as good as the others. And the Nomar Garciaparra deal in 2004 for Minkiewicz and Cabrera was really addition by subtraction. Doesn't qualify with some of those other deals in terms of the acquisition, but the timing of it, the ballsy nature of it, and it ended up being a franchise-altering kind of trade.
He was such a pill at the end.
Yeah, so it was really what that trade meant more than who you got.
21 years ago today, by the way.
Was it really?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I remember it. Yeah.
I remember it well. Tier 2, better than they get credit for, okay? Meaning the Red Sox should get more credit for these deals than they do. Mike Boddicker for Brady Anderson and Kurt Schilling. Now, young people will say, oh, that was a stupid trade. Boddicker was terrific here. He was excellent. He was the perfect number 2 starter for Roger Clemens. And Schilling didn't turn into anything until several years later with the Phillies. He changed organizations 2 more times before he became good. The salary dump deal with the Dodgers. Gonzalez, Beckett, Carl Crawford. You got nothing back in this deal, but you dumped all the money for the health of the Red Sox, not just economically, but in terms of rebuilding. It was a significant trade in the first big step. 1986, Mike Easler for Don Baylor. Don Baylor ended up becoming a clubhouse leader, was a huge factor on that team. They got to the World Series, obviously almost won it. A sneaky good deal in Red Sox history. Dennis Eckersley for, again, ponies. Rick Wise, Ted Cox, Bo Diaz, Mike Paxton. That was in 1978. Akin to the Pedro deals like that. Eck was a legit ace back then. And I think the Nathan Eovaldi deal for Jalen Beeks ended up being a terrific, terrific trade for them in lots of ways. He was a good pickup that season. They ended up re-signing him. He became a fan favorite and really became kind of a model for their pitching staff, a guy that was very well respected. So I give him a huge check mark for the Nathan Eovaldi deal. Now, we get to tier 3, sneaky bad. Sneaky bad. Hanley Ramirez and Anibal Sanchez for Josh Beckett and Mike Lowell. Yeah, Mazz, what do you mean that won him a World Series? Okay. Beckett never really materialized into what he was supposed to. They did win the one. Lowell, they signed to another contract, which was a mistake. Did you know that in addition to Hanley Ramirez, they gave up Anibal Sanchez? Hanley Ramirez is one of only 24 players in Major League history with 250 home runs and 250 stolen bases. With the Marlins, he was basically a perennial all-star, an MVP candidate. And one of those guys, by the way, with the 250 homers and 250 steals is Robin Yount. Okay, so Hanley early in his career was an excellent, excellent player. Anibal Sanchez pitched in the big leagues for 16 seasons. So that was not just some throw-in. They gave up 2 legitimate young players in that trade. Manny Ramirez for Jason Bay in 2008, stupid trade. Everybody hated Manny. The fact is, as soon as they traded him, they stopped winning World Series until 2013 when they got lucky. So Manny was a huge part of what they did, And giving him away at that stage when he was going to be gone at the end of the season anyway was a mistake. I put this on the list because I think they're going to miss him in the long run. Devers to the Giants. I understand the culture thing. I understand all of that. It was a massive giveaway, and I don't like it when the Red Sox dump talent. The Adrian Gonzalez acquisition, in retrospect, wouldn't you have been better off just keeping Anthony Rizzo?
Yes.
Oh, yes, 1,000%.
So now that one is hindsight. Okay, but
That's all we got now.
Rizzo proved to be a real winner.
Well, but what's wrong with hindsight?
Nothing.
I mean, that's the game. When you trade a future, if the future becomes greater than the player you acquired in the now, it's a bad trade.
Absolutely.
That's the way it works.
And they had to get out of Gonzalez quickly because he was such a pill. But Anthony Rizzo, in retrospect, would have been the better keep.
And a better fit.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. And then finally, Fred Lynn for Joe Rudy and Frank Tanana. This trade took place, I believe, in 1980 or 1981. And I say a lot of people will say, well, Lynn was broken down a lot. It wasn't worth keeping him. Do you know what Fred Lynn's career batting average was at Fenway Park? Have you ever heard this?
No.
Take a guess.
350.
345.
Wow.
345, third highest all time behind Ted Williams and Jimmy Fox.
And Boggs?
Okay, even better than Boggs.
Wow.
So Fred Lynn was a perfect fit for Fenway. Letting him go was a major mistake in Red Sox history. Not a fun one. Worst trades in Red Sox history, one of which is obvious, goes at the top of the list. Babe Ruth traded for cash to the New York Yankees. You can call it a sale. In this day, we would say he was traded for cash considerations. Mookie Betts, number 2. Jeff Bagwell for Larry Anderson, one of the great giveaways in any franchise's history. And a couple of smaller ones that people overlook. Here's one for you, Mike. Cecil Cooper and Bernie Carbo for George Scott. George Scott had one good year after he rejoined the Red Sox from the Milwaukee Brewers. Cecil Cooper turned into a perennial all-star.
Almost won us a championship.
He was a terrific hitter.
I don't remember Carbo doing anything for
No,
us.
he was a throw-in. I just put his name on there because he was in the deal.
I frankly don't remember him playing. I forgot that he was part of that, but go ahead.
But the deal was really Cooper for Scott,
Yep.
and Cooper was terrific for the Brewers for about 10 years.
He was a poor man's Rod Carew. He was terrific.
And this is one that nobody ever talks about because at the time, none of us understood what it was. Jamie Moyer traded away for Darren Bragg. I believe that was in 1996. Jamie Moyer went on to win 250 career games, 145 of them with the Mariners, became a franchise icon up there, was a Cy Young finalist basically for a number of those years with Seattle. Soft-throwing lefty. Some of it was the fit in Seattle, but Jamie Moyer ended up being really, really good.
Okay, there you go. All-time Red Sox trades in tiers. Best down to the worst.